Victoria Savage. Welcome to my channel. I am a guide, a wellness advocate, an integrative health practitioner, and an energy worker, and a grandma, any number of things. But here is the truth. My inner desire is freedom. And I have realized that being in freedom is something that really scares me. I do not trust myself to be sovereign. And yet empowerment is my path, what I love to teach. But that is where I feel powerless and I don't trust me. We have been socialized as the divine feminine in the world, as a not divine feminine, but as the feminine. We want the rise of the divine feminine, but to not trust ourselves, we need to have the guidance of the male energy. And while the partnership is lovely in many cases, that is not what we need at our basis level. We need to own our personal sovereignty. And in order to do that, we need to learn to trust ourselves. And that is not something we're socialized into. We have been socialized into absolutely opposite. We need someone else's guidance. We need to be under somebody else's control. We're not really smart enough. We don't really have what it takes. Everything in me resists that. And yet I'm realizing that even as at my age, I am still in that pattern of believing that me, uncontrolled, isn't safe for me, which is in my mind, I know is absolutely the opposite. But it's a very deep mechanism that has been encoded in us for centuries, millennia, really, since the beginning of time. And a choice to be in relationship with the male energy is lovely, but that belief that we can't do well without it is not lovely, is not empowering, does not claim our sovereignty. Sovereignty means supreme ruler. And that doesn't mean we don't ask for the partnership of our angels, guides, companions. That's a very powerful thing to do on a regular basis because you're inviting in the next or that extra power to help you move forward. So 2 decks came up, the Rooted Woman and the Crossroads came up. The Crossroads guidance, good morning, Julia, says, when the Crossroad card appears, it represents a place where you're not in control. I mean, could not be more perfect for this reading. But if change is both inevitable and undiscoverable, don't fear it. Listen to whoever you might encounter there and then trust yourself. Trust yourself to make the choice. That change is always inevitable, but when we get prompted in certain areas, for me, this box, there was 2 big themes that I placed myself in and realized that freedom lover that I am, that is my basest desire, that truly I just figured out. Everything I've done in life is in pursuit of freedom in different areas, because freedom is something that needs to happen in order for me to be in my greatest ease. And yet I place myself into these boxes, into the unsovereign control of someone else. And so this crossroads is now, I'm looking at it. And when I think of releasing the box around 2 themes, one is food for me. The other is finances. I don't even know what the finance one looks like at this point, because what is coming up for me now is the food one. And my heart goes, oh my God. Oh no, what if I let myself go, this is gonna happen. It's a total distrust of me at my very essence. What does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? Is there a point where you'd go ooh, this is where I'm in control. How does this feel for me to be out of control? Trust yourself. Connect to your higher power. I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready, guide me. The next card is Kama of Kali. And this is from the Kali Oracle, which is a pretty severe one. But this is that lotus. The lotus pushes up through the mud to become this incredibly beautiful flower. The feminine has been in the mud for millennia. We are pushing through. We have to push through the boxes that we've placed ourselves in. And I'm going to read to you their definition of the Kama of Kali. She is completely and utterly in love with your divine essence, and in her love bestows endless gifts. Your path need not be one of endless effort, which is what that putting yourself back in that box over and over is exactly that endless effort of trying to control me and keep me in the alignment of somebody else's description of who I am, instead of enjoying that freedom. Now, freedom doesn't mean you disregard everybody else and everything. It means that you begin to regard you and in your highest power, your sovereignty as supreme ruler of this being, because there's nobody else that rules you. You are the one that rules you, and you are the ones that put yourself into boxes. So, what are the boxes? Generally, for most of us, there's a couple themes. What is the box that you have placed yourself in most often? What is the one you have, quote unquote, battled with most of your life? That is the one that is asking you now to remove the walls in this box. I got this visual of, at Christmas time, I let go of the carnivore, ketovore eating just for a small window of time to enjoy some of my favorite dishes. I'm a foodie. I love food. And so this is a very constrictive energy for me to be in on a continuous basis. And I've been putting myself in that since I was 12. And, certainly have had outside social influence that supported keeping yourself in this box. But I envision me kicking out one wall of it, and it's like, oh, my legs can stretch out now. I can release all that pent up energy. Oh, that just feels good. So then, and I didn't really go real crazy this year, but it's like once you feel that release of that constriction in the visual, it was a constriction of my legs. You want to get up and run. You want to utilize them. And so it was like felt so comfortable. And then after Christmas, it was like, okay, you got to get back in the box. It's like, I don't really want to. This doesn't feel real good. How can how can I live without this box and live in safety? Because that is what the box tells me it's creating for me. If I don't live in this box of control over everything that goes into my mouth, I will not be safe. I will be so unhealthy. I will live that greatest fear that I have. And that is one of the greatest fears I have, is just becoming a 400-pound blob. That's what I pictured myself as most of my life. So there's so much to this, but it is one step at a time. Do some automatic writing around this fear, this box you have placed yourself in. Automatic writing is connecting to your higher power and then allowing them to speak. You just start writing with that theme and see what comes up. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage. Figure out the boxes you've placed yourself in. There's usually one or two. And what it looks like to be free. Free of dominator energy, free of outsider energy, and listening to your very inner freedom-loving, or whatever it is for you, person there guiding you. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle.